Multiple sources say, alright, not multiple, but let's just say we're inching our way to the next gen release date for a certain basketball game, and people are getting excited, people are talking. So let's also say I maybe sort of kind of caught wind of some of these talks, and got a glimpse into some of what's been planned for said game. Actually, nah, let's just say it might have been me dreaming, cause I didn't talk to anybody, that'd be insane. But, if it wasn't a dream, well, so far we have zero officially announced information, so it's not like I'd make a video discussing that content or anything. I could end up looking like a liar.
That's not
Unless I just said that these are things, in my dream of course, that may have been credibly said to have been worked on, just not 100% confirmed to be in the game's final release. Yeah, so a rumor. Credible dream rumors. But before that, check out today's credible sponsor, Filmora9. Shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Filmora9. And here's a small edit I was able to make with their program. I've gotten so many questions about programs you could use to edit your videos, and Filmora is a very inexpensive and simple way to do so, especially basketball videos, which would relate to you all. There's plenty of effects that are preloaded onto the program for you to use that might be more difficult to obtain in other editors, creative transitions that you won't have to do manually, and very simple color correction so you can get the video to look how you please without having to mess with a bunch of complicated knobs. And finally, there's even a dedicated audio library here, which is extremely helpful because sometimes at the end of my editing process, hunting for music that fits can be pretty tiresome. So Filmora is very beginner friendly. There's a free trial available, and if you decide you like it, it's only $39.99 for the entire year. So for any of you that are looking to make basketball montages or sports videos in general, Filmora9 is a very affordable and simple option to go with. The links to this will be in both the comment section and description. So, if I hypothetically possibly maybe heard some things out there, it's that the jump in graphics is, as expected, sizable. As in, that snippet of Zion, the only footage we have of next gen so far, could actually be replay footage from the game itself. So yes, the trailer does state in fine print that was actual in-game footage, but I guess anyone, including myself, would have a difficult time believing this is actually playable content and not pre-rendered footage. But if that is strictly replay footage, that means bearing some downgrade in the consumer units, the gameplay might just look exactly like this. So apparently that is not a cutscene or something. That's kind of mind-blowing and definitely means that this was all just a dream. However, if you think back to the NBA 2K14 release, the very first footage that they dropped with LeBron James, that is exactly what the game looked like, so yeah, that's all basic. But if I heard anything about park content, it's that it's a totally new concept completely independent of 2K Beach, obviously. But let's say that, oh, I don't know, affiliations got brought back, and within those affiliations there were different levels for players to choose from. So something like a worldwide theme, like say you're a Rough Rider or something, and because of it you get to choose between like Rucker Park, a court in the Philippines, something in Beijing. I mean, that sounds totally crazy, right? There's no way that's true. They didn't actually do exactly what people have been asking for. They didn't already tease this in a trailer. This is still a basketball game at heart. It doesn't sound like GTA yet or anything, but it sounds like there might be certain moments where your player gets to walk around a city or something and interact with fans. Nothing like a complete open world, but something a bit less bland than answering generic questions after games. The hypothetical dream kind of gets hazy around this part though, so concerning my career, maybe some environments to explore, maybe affiliations, maybe multiple iconic locations and not one neighborhood. I mean, who really knows, right? In the words of the late great Thanos, one can never be too sure. Does anybody even care about MyLeague anymore? Well, if you're doing Sims like I've done on Twitch the entire year, it's still pretty fun. More fun to do with other people, obviously. So a big part of everything is what ifs, right? Well, what if there was this option where you could see how a scenario would play out if you would have done it? Like, I don't know, say you were gonna make a trade for Tracy McGrady, but instead you acquired Kobe. Well, it sounds like if you were curious how the McGrady move would have worked out, there could be a scenario parser that then shows you the outcome of what could have been. Would you have won championships? Would he have just gotten hurt? Alternate reality type stuff. The MyLeague community has gotten pretty creative with The Sims, so if something like that were to blip into existence, the possibilities might be endless. Does anybody care about Play Now Online? Doubt it. But that's just because it's been broken since 2K16 and its tier system gradually ruined the simplicity that may have drawn people towards it before. Okay, so let's say super hypothetically 2K finally decided to revisit that mode that doesn't make them any money and abolish the tier system. You know, so instead of making you painstakingly play with and against teams you give no shits about, your matchup instead becomes based on how you play, kinda like a ranking system. Oh, and have you ever bet anything on a game of 2K? Of course you have, you deviant. You've been to ante up at least once. But MyCareer games can also rely on so many factors. What if there was some anti-up system for Play Now Online, where you wager some VC against your opponent in a full 5-on-5 game? That sounds like a terrible idea for the majority of players out there, but it definitely raises the stakes and makes the mode worth playing again. Imagine being able to actually earn a couple thousand VC by dropping somebody off, and you actually got to play in matchups you cared about. Of course, that would require a team selection screen, but in any case, being able to earn VC in a basic mode that was once a lot of fun sounds enticing. However, calm down. These are all just things that were either a dream or have been floating out there in the 2K atmosphere. No way to tell which one. Nobody has a clue what'll actually be in the final release of the game. Some of it might, none of it might, or all of it might. It's just hypothetical. However, as I have always stuck by, 2K makes the first game of any next-gen console their absolute priority, and especially with how much the park community has grown, Affiliations seemed like one of the biggest ways they could get people hyped for this next-gen drop. But only time will tell. We can't be any more than a couple of weeks out from an actual next-gen release trailer, and then we'll start getting news bit by bit over October, so we'll see what comes to fruition and what doesn't. For more videos, dreams, and hypotheticals, be sure to hit the like button, comment, and sub, and hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications the next time a video drops. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.